Hello, Chelsea fans. I'm happy to be here this evening. It's evening there in my country. It's nice to be here. I know I've been hearing a lot of calls that where is Ayoade? Where has it been? Has it been sacked? No, I've not been sacked. I'm still here. And I'm very happy to be here this evening, as I said. And we have a lot to unpack this evening. And it promises to be a great show. I've missed every one of you. I've missed every one of you. And as I said, promises to be a great stream, a great show tonight. So don't go anywhere. Get your popcorn. Don't go anywhere. Get settled because we have a lot to unbundle this evening. I'll be back. Don't go anywhere. I'll be back in a jiffy. Yeah. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I hope you are ready for the show tonight. It promises to be a very great time. And as I said, I've missed every one of you. I've missed every one of you. I've seen and heard reports of how I'm being asked of time and again. Don't mind me. Last 2 weeks I was really under the weather. I wasn't feeling so well, and I just had to take some break. And last week it was funny. Other forces, other forces that are greater than I am, tried to stop me, and it's funny. It's funny. I don't want to talk about the situation. I don't want to give you information that you really don't want to know. But as I said, the forces greater than I am that tried to stop me. But here I am. Actually, they failed because if they succeeded, I won't be here today. So they failed, and it's lovely to be back here. And I'm here for the long run. I'm here for the long run. It's a marathon, it's not a sprint. So I'm not going anywhere soon. So thank you very much for the care, for checking up. I love you guys, and I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be here. So please don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. We have a lot to unbundle today. As I used to say, sharing is caring. So share, call somebody, let somebody join you, call a friend to call a friend, and let's do this together. Let's do the show together, and it promises to be a wonderful time. Welcome. Yes, Roderick, I'm back. I'm back. I'm back, Roderick. Yes, I've seen and heard how you asked about me repeatedly, and I'm happy to be here. I missed you all, like I said. I missed you all, and it's lovely. It's lovely to be here again, and we have a lot to unbundle. Have a lot to unbundle, but primarily we'll be talking about Christopher Nkunku. Christopher Nkunku. For me personally, when the story about his private medical, because he did some private medicals before he was signed officially. When the story of his private medical came up, I was ecstatic about it. It was, because for me it was too good to be true. He was a clinical finisher in the in in the Bundesliga, and yeah, we all of a sudden it's being linked to us. Like the way the transfer was done, there was no noise and everything. Then in the summer he came. Then one year after his 1 year on, he's been having injury issues here and there, niggles here and there. he had a big injury that made him miss the World Cup. Then his knee has not been letting him play football as he would love to. But we still have him, he's still here. And this season promised to be a breakout season for him because I think he said that for him, this is his first season in Chelsea. Last season, you can't count that as a season for him in football. So we all know what is happening. We all know what is happening. Then recently, recently we got the links, how that is being linked to Manchester United. Wow. Nkunku is being linked to Manchester United. So the question now is, should we let this guy go? Should we let Nkunku go? Should Nkunku leave for Manchester United? But before we go into the integrities of that, let's hear what one or two persons have said about Nkunku. Let's hear what people have said about Nkunku and all sorts. Nkunku himself said that you discover my level. He said this some weeks ago. I'm rediscovering my level in terms of reading. That will come with game time. I want to stay and perform. I think I want to stay is a big word. It's one that we should watch out for. It's one that we should take note of. He said, I want to stay and to perform. It's one of my objectives. The injuries are behind me. The goal is to stay fit and in good health. If he's saying I want to stay, because he was speaking to Chelsea FC TV here, and if he was saying I want to stay, I don't think he needed to give us that information. So if he's giving us that information, that means that for me, I think he really wants to stay. So I want to really hear from you in the comment section. Let me know your opinion about Nkunku. Does he really want to stay? Does he really want to stay? But from recent things that we've heard in the media and everything, we've been hearing conflicting reports from some credible, some not very credible sources. And for me, I will want us to keep Nkunku. I want us to keep Nkunku and at all costs. I can't imagine Nkunku going to Manchester United. Come on, Manchester United of all places. Yes, we got Sancho from them, but I wouldn't want Nkunku to go there. I've not recovered from the trauma of Mata playing for Manchester United. I really don't want Nkunku to go to Manchester United. So, as I said, I I have I I will not want him to go there. Oh, we have somebody. We have Man. Man is joining us on the show today. Welcome, man. Good evening. Good evening. It's evening here in Nigeria. In Nigeria, so it's evening here in Nigeria. Good evening, man.
Welcome. Can you hear me, bro?
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Well, God bless. How are you, bro? I haven't heard from you in a while.
I'm fine. I'm fine. I've
That's
been
good.
having.
That's good.
Thank you for joining the show this evening. Thank you for doing this show with me. I'm really excited that you're here live with me. All right. As before you came in, we're talking about Mpuku. Talking about Mpuku. What do you think that Mpuku has underperformed? Think he has underperformed? Yeah, yeah. Okay. Okay. Let's stay with that. Let's stay with that. He said that Mpuku has underperformed. But before you, I hope I'm pronouncing your name the right way. Oh, he's gone. All right. I'll just continue. He will join us later. So as I was saying, for me, saying that he has overperformed, that I don't want to accept that because I think he has not had enough chances. And we're talking about a player that had nothing last season. You can say he didn't play at all last season. Yes, I can argue because as I say so, something is telling my mind, but Fufana didn't play at all last season, and at least he's playing much better. But you must understand that they're playing different positions. That's one, and we really can't judge that way. But at the same time, he has not gotten the chances. That's something you cannot take away. Nkuku has not gotten the chances, so we don't have enough data to analyze his performances. We don't have enough data to analyze his performances. Can Nkuku do better than he's doing? I think so. Personally, I think he's the best finisher we have in Chelsea. I think he's the best finisher we have in Chelsea. We are going to later check some of the stats that we have, some of the stats we have. But personally, I think he's the best boss box finisher we have in Chelsea. But I think one of the things that has been holding him back is his pattern of play of the coach, and also is and also the fact that he has had injury issues. I think that is the issue that we have now. Okay, Roddy thinks that the best finisher we have is debatable, Ayoade, but he's a good finisher. I think he's the best finisher. Box finisher, I think he's the best finisher that we have in Chelsea. So if he is saying that he's had injury issues and that's the reason why um, he has not been playing, he has not had readings. Of course, it's understandable. It's understandable. It's a long layoff. Of course, the psychological part of it is also there. The fact that um, the fact that he missed the World Cup and everything. All right, Ma is back. Ma is back. So
Oh yeah.
Ma, welcome. Okay, I really wanted to ask, please. I hope I'm pronouncing your name the right way. So probably you can tell me how to pronounce your name, so I don't commit
Nah,
blunders.
you're getting it right, bro. No, relax.
All right. Thank you very much. Okay, we're talking about Nkunku, and for me, I've been an advocate of the fact that the reason why we have not seen the best of him is because of the fact that he's had injury issues here and there. So, what do you think? What do you think?
Yeah. Big up. Sorry, just for just going off like that. I couldn't hear you. Just pick up again. Thank you for having me again. God bless. Pick up in the chat. Also pick up to Ty. Speedy recovery, bro. I hope you get better. Yeah, bro. Nkunku, like I personally feel like we should start playing him because I mean like he's been scoring since the Carabao Cup and also the Conference League. So I just feel like we need to give this guy a chance. And I think because we're not giving him a chance because of, like you said, his injuries record as well. So I just feel like he's ready now. He's much sharper now. He's ready to kick on. He can, have a little bit of competition with Jackson. So, like there's been stories about him being unsettled, but I just feel like he should start.
All right. Thank you very much for that, man. And it's it's true. I personally, at this point, I think that Jackson is getting lax. He's getting lax because of the fact that he feels that he's always going to start. So I really hope that against Leicester, we can have some what is it called? Some some spanners thrown into the way so that we can have a lot
Oh
of
yeah.
things to talk about. Oh, Bobby Smokey. Bobby Smokey. Yeah. It's nice to have you. It's nice to have you on the show this evening. Big up to you. Big up to you.
So big up, guys. Big up, guys. My pleasure. I just thought I'll jump on and see what you're talking about. See if I can contribute to the discussion.
Uh, Thank you very much. Thank you very
Big
much.
up,
Nice to have
Bobby.
you. Met
Big
us
up,
talking
guys.
about you met us talking about Nkunku and how that he we really need to we really need to talk about how that he has not been in the team. And for me, I think that The reason why he has not been in the team is because of the system of play and also the fact that he has had injury issues here and there, and of course that is so clear, that's so glaring. So, but I think that it's high time that we have him back into the starting lineup, at least here and there, here and there, here and there. Let him start some matches. What do you think? What do you think? Let me hear from you, Bobby.
Yeah, people have to realize that Nkunku didn't play football for practically a whole season. He had a few minutes here and there, but following that injury in pre-season against Dortmund, he had no season. His first season with Chelsea was a null season. He did nothing. He couldn't do anything. He didn't play. He gave the club nothing. So, in a way, he kind of owes the club. But having said that, he's being managed. He can't just be thrown into the first team without building up his fitness, building up his match, getting rid of the match rustiness, and getting him back to the Nkunku that we know he is. Now, I think relatively he's there, although he didn't have a great international, showing this last international break. But I think he's there, and I personally would like to see Maresca start him against Leicester just to get rid of the noise. There's a lot of misconceptions about game time with Nkunku. Every single person in that Chelsea squad is playing once a week. That's the blessing of the Conference League that has enabled us to do that while we build and integrate this process. We're still a work in process. We're still a developing team. We're the youngest team in the Premier League, and I believe probably now the youngest team in the top five leagues in Europe. Last season we were the second youngest. Now I believe we are the youngest. The reason we were the second youngest last season was because of the age average being significantly increased by the 39 stroke 40-year-old Thiago Silva. So there's nothing wrong here. He's having his game time, which is helping his fitness, albeit in the Conference League. But, I know that Maresca is trying to keep all his squad exercised, used to his system, being able to seamlessly swap in and swap out whatever game it is he so needs or chooses for them to play in. And also, we're about to go into that very difficult Christmas period where he's going to need the depth of the squad, where we're playing multiple games through multiple challenges. And, there'll be suspensions. Please, God, no more injuries because we've had our fair share of that. But look at the midfield conundrum we've got now with Lavia being a little bit suspect and Enzo and Caicedo not really coming back till about Thursday. And then we have this early kickoff on Saturday morning. So there's no time, and they shouldn't play both of them. That's where we're most vulnerable when we do that sort of thing post international breaks to a Leicester team that has for 2 weeks just been preparing for this game. So I think the concern about Nkunku is coming from the Chelsea fan base. Nobody else is really that worried. Nkunku himself doesn't seem to be, well, I don't believe he is worried because Maresca speaks to him about what's going on. Maresca's not worried. And the team unit is developing and building. But I don't know, we get into this thing. And it's only at Chelsea I've noticed the fan base expect, oh, if a player isn't, I mean, we've had the fan base complaining about a player sat on the bench in August. If a player isn't playing in the first team, we start trying to sell them off. It's insane. I'll give an example. Our last game against Arsenal, who did they bring off the bench? Marino. For who? For Declan Rice. Who else was on the bench? Jorginho, Zinchenko. Didn't even get on. They have a depth. Jesus. came on for Saka. You know, these teams, that's Arsenal. I don't even want to talk about Real Madrid or even Man City or Bayern Munich. You know, the top teams have an artillery of talent to rotate, many of which will be on the bench for several games, maybe even in a row. You know, Chomeni has sat in, I know he's injured now, but he's sat on the bench many a time for Real Madrid, as has Camavinga, as even Modric. You see, you have to do these things. You need your wealth of squad depth. So all the panic and all the talk of and the concern, Nkunku's not playing in the Premier League. Then people are saying, "Oh, that means he doesn't have game time," like they're saying with João Felix. João Felix plays once a week, 90 minutes always, albeit at the moment in the Conference League and in the Cups, but he's getting game time. Now, is he playing in the Premier League? Not yet. I can assure you he will. I can assure you with the integration and the process that the club is building, different permutations will come up. You'll see Jackson and Nkunku playing at some part of some games, as you will see Felix and Palmer playing at some part of some games. That interchange, that mix, that ability to dig deep into our squad is very important for sustained and top level success. So back to Nkunku, I really want to see him on Saturday. I think it's an excellent opportunity for him to have his sort of first proper Premier League run out. And it's also a good chance to just silence all the unnecessary noise coming from outside the club within our fan base.
Thank you very much. You couldn't have said it better. You said my mind. Sincerely, you said my mind. Because personally, I think that yeah, as a fan base, we are very reactionary. We tend to jump on bandwagons and really banter at home, and it's something that should stop even within the fan base. It's November, and look at, you didn't mention Adagula. How many how many matches has Adagula started for Real Madrid? And I'm not hearing such noises, but here in Chelsea we have a lot of those noises. Don't take it
Yeah,
away from me.
Diego Jota, Liverpool, probably one of the best strikers in the Premier League. He's always coming off the bench if he plays at all. You know, where we get a bit too obsessive about these things with players, such to our own detriment. And I think really as a fan base, we need to stop that and look more at the bigger picture. I don't know. Some people are just there for the players. They're not considering the club. Like I yesterday, I was on a platform where we were talking about Achimpong. You know, and I stood firmly of the opinion. I think the club is doing the right thing. You can't have an 18-year-old kid bossing you and telling you how much you're going to pay him and breaking your wage structure. It just should not happen. So if we think club first, then player, then we wouldn't bother with these things. To me, no player is bigger than the club. Sorry to interject.
No problem, no problem. It's a good point to use. So, personally, as you said, I think that it's something that we really need to check. We are very reactionary as a fan base. We should actually check it. Nkuku is a beautiful player. Is one that is going to pay dividends for us, because the signing is a wonderful signing. But you really can't take away the fact that this guy had knee injuries, and it's a long layoff, and such that some people don't understand what it means to. Probably some people don't play the football. They don't play football, so it's more of we just talk about it, and it's nice, nice. We all can play football, but even at that, I think getting sharpness and having the freedom to do the things you used to do with the ball is not something you just get overnight. Some people have it after long layoffs, but it's not something that everybody gets. And for me, he has been playing well. He has been playing well, but he needs to get the match fitness little by little, and that's why the coach has started by using him in against opponents that are not very very competitive. And I think with time, as you said, we are going to start seeing him in matches, Premier League matches. Okay, let's continue. Ray, he said it's good to see that you're wearing sacked. Oh, I wasn't sacked. I wasn't sacked. I had one or two issues last 2 weeks. I had some health issues last 2 weeks. Then last week it was funny. It was funny. Some forces didn't allow me come here. So I'm talking about situations around my country and stuff like that. Okay, and come to think of it, today some forces also tried to stop me. My girlfriend tried to stop me from coming, but I told her that I have to be here. Because of that, she followed me here. So big up to you. Big up to you if you are listening. Big up to you if you are listening. It's nice that we have you here. Let's continue. Okay. Now, actually, you can't take away the fact that every time he played, he, at least against the smaller sides, he has performed. He has performed, and he's got hat-tricks, and he's got 13 goals from 10 starts. 10 starts. He's got 13, 13 goals from 10 starts. It's nice. It's nice. It's nice. Oh, okay. Big up to you. Big up to you, Miracle. It's nice to have you on the show. Thank you very much for coming on the show. Thank you very much. So he's at 13 goals from 10 starts, as I said. So actually, it's not a bad return, and I think he's leading with goals, while Palmer is leading with goal involvement. Goal involvement. So it's nice to have. It's nice that it is building up confidence. It's building up confidence, and anytime I think he's just ready to explode. That's why I think he's just ready to explode. Once his match fit, his match how do I put it now? He's smart and is ready to go. Once he gets his opportunities, I know what Nkunku can bring to the table. I know what Nkunku can bring to the table. So let's not put unnecessary pressure on the coach. Let's not build unnecessary pressure on the coach. Let the coach build this guy to what he wants to get out of him. Look at this boy we signed from Barcelona. I don't know why his name has slipped my head.
Mark Gill.
Yes, McGill. We've not had a lot from him, and I just feel like the coach is building something with this boy. The coach is building something. So imagine McGill saying that he's not happy in Chelsea and stuff like that. It's early days, and only time will tell. Only time will tell what exactly he brings to the table. So without wasting time, because we have some things to say, as I said, he's one of the best finishers that I know in Chelsea. Is okay. My friend Roderick thinks that that's not very true, but Fofana has something to say here. Fofana says that I have rarely seen someone finish so well in front of goal. That's what Fofana thinks about his compatriots, because they are teammates both in Chelsea and in the national team, and he thinks that I'm talking about a player that I've seen a lot of finishers. He's played against a lot of players. He's played with a lot of players, and having him say things like this should tell us something. Nkunku is a beautiful player, and will he play for Chelsea? Definitely. But let's not let's not let's not push let's not push the agenda too hard. Man, I want to hear from you. Okay, because when I said he's one of the best finishers, I think he's the best finisher. He's the best finisher we have in Chelsea. Roddy thinks that he's not. He said it's debatable. So I want to hear from you, man. What do you think? Is there somebody better in the box? As is there anybody as good as Nkunku in the box?
In terms
You
of
know,
right now, I think finishing it has to be Cole Palmer. But I'm not sure who else is actually good at finishing too in our squad. But uh, I think that statement is so debatable because they both have that ability to finish and they are very clinical. So with Nkunku's side, he's more effective on the second striker role. So I can see why he's more why that point comes up because I feel like Nkunku is the type of guy who doesn't create. He's the guy who just runs with the ball and he wants to score. So I think when you say it in that statement, then I think maybe you could just justify who's better between the two. But I think he's one of top five best finishers now in our team. I think yeah. I'm just Frankel that he's not getting some game time, but which he will. I don't think he's gonna be sitting on the bench for some time, but he's going to get some game time and just have to wait and see how many goals he's gonna nick. So I think yeah, I think he's in the category of saying like he's one of our best finishers in the team.
all right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, I think you have a point. Looking at Palmer is a very good finisher too. But well, time will tell. Time will tell. Let's see him rack up um, appearances in the league. Then we'll be able to justify that statement. Or we'll be able to come back to that statement if he's actually the best box finisher we have in Chelsea. Time will tell. Time will tell. So, as I said, we just have to give this guy some time. Let the coach breathe, as we say here in my country. Let the coach breathe, and I think with time we are going to see the best of of Nkunku. By the way, as I'm an advocate of Nkunku myself, so I just want to throw out this stats. Chelsea leading goal scorers this season across the wingers, strikers, and midfielders, both on loan and in Stamford Bridge. You have Esteval William, 12 goals. I'm not going to talk about Esteval William today. Probably you are going to dedicate a show. Tai, we are going to dedicate a show for Esteval. Esteval. Very soon, it's going to be about Esteval, and we're going to plug how much and how good this guy is. How good this guy is. We're going to plug it on one of our shows. Please watch out for that. So Nkunku has 10 goals, Palmer has 7, Jackson 6, João Felix 5, and De Santos. Wow, this is another player. Probably when we were talking about Esteban Willian, we just talk about our players on loan. Just talk about our loan players. Please, our organizers, please put that in mind. We are talking about our loan players very soon. All right, Madueke 5 goals, Pedro Neto 3 goals, and Modric 2 goals. And something just tells you that we can do a lot more. That these guys have not started. These guys have not started yet. We have a lot you can get from these guys. And if Nkunku has 10 goals, Palmer 7, of course, being objective, because I can see God telling me here to be very objective. Being objective is the fact that he has played against lesser opponents. You can't take that away. He has played against lesser opponents. But there's something that this does. It brings confidence and it brings match fitness. It brings sharpness too. So over time, it's for our own good. I'm not saying that we should take out Jackson from the team and just put Nkunku there. That's not what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that this guy will come out good. And of course, I'm not saying that Jackson should have all day long playing. That's not what I'm saying too. I believe that Nkunku will come good, and I don't think he wants to leave Chelsea anytime soon. Just like Tobago, big up to you. The coolest Chelsea podcast, big up to you, man. I cite you. Just as Tobago said, he's very happy. Nkunku is happy. Nkunku is happy at Chelsea Football Club. At least that is what I get. That's the report I get, that Nkunku is very happy at Chelsea Football Club. So time will tell. It's early days. But let me hear from you, Bobby Smokey. What do you think about this stuff? Is this something to be happy about? Is it something to is there a need for worry, or is there a need for to be upbeat about the coming months?
Um, yeah, I mean, I can't quite. This is the goal scoring stats you're talking about. Yeah, I
Yes.
can't quite see it because I'm on my phone here. But um, Nkunku, the last I checked, was there was a differential between him and Cole Palmer of about 2 goals. I think he's got 5. Palmer has 7. Jackson has 6. Something like that, if I remember off the top of my head. I mean, that's pretty good returns. It's not bad at all, and it can only get better as the season goes on. I have no concerns about the situation, if it can be called a situation, of Nkunku. Rightly, you've said, Mark Gui is very much a player in development. Um, he will get better. He can't rush himself. And if he chooses to want to play week in, week out, then he may end up finding himself in Strasbourg, especially if we bring in a top striker. So he needs to take advantage of his time with the first team at Chelsea that he's got. But the figures for the returns of goal scoring is not bad at all. In fact, I think overall we are probably one of the highest scorers in the Premier League. Um, I know probably maybe Liverpool, Man City, one of them has more, or maybe even Arsenal. But we're not far off any of those teams at all in terms of goal scoring.
Oh, okay. You have a point. You have a very big point there. And as you said, you have reasons to be upbeat. You have reasons to. I just look forward to the coming months, coming weeks, because I just think something just needs to click. Once something clicks, I tell those that are very close to me, Chelsea this season is a team that you really can't put a cap on where they can get to. That's how I don't know. I might be wrong. Man, let me hear from you. I just feel like Chelsea this season, you can't put a cap that this is the highest they can go. That's what I think. From recent performances and what I've seen the team do, I just feel like you can't put a cap. I don't know. I might be wrong. Let me hear from you.
Mm. I think we can, but it just comes back to mentality as well. Like with the players, are they really ready for that? You check. We had it with last season when we were in a cup final, and you know what happened as well. And same situation when we're at the FA Cup semi-final. It's just goes down to like the mentality of these players. Like, okay, are they coming to the football club to be a stepping stone, or are they coming to our club to win trophies and win domestic cups? And I feel like in that certain way, I think there are one or two players that they're in that mentality. And like what I'm seeing so far in the league, like in terms of, I think from Maresca's side, I think he sees it in that way now. He has that mentality of like he wants to compete, and he even said it in one of the post conference interviews. He said something about, we want to be a team in the next 4 or 5 years that we should be winning trophies. We should be already competing, being successful, challenging next season, for the league. And when we have that type of mentality as a manager, it goes to the players automatically. The players actually read that, and some of the players start to adapt into that. So I feel like it's a moment of time where we have to be patient. Yes, I understand, like, because we went out of the Carabao Cup, and this season we're gonna have so many games, especially the Cup World Cup. So I feel like as well we have to stand by with the players and see where they really are mentally. If they want to challenge for the league or if they want to win a domestic trophy, as well, because you could see now the players, as last season, they were not so comfortable enough to compete. Now they want to like challenge. They want to go to Champions League. They want to be in the Champions League picture now. Likes of Felix, Sancho, Madueke also wants to be in that phase. Palmer now, the way he has been playing, I mean, there are some players that really have that mindset of winning a trophy. but it just boils down to like we have to be patient, like what Bobby said. We have to be patient. To for those things to come, we have to get to that stage where the players will feel comfortable of winning trophies. So at the moment, I feel like we are getting to that place.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, man. Yeah, my friend Tobago. Nice to have you. Let me hear from you, Tobago. Hello, Tobago. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm there. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you too?
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks. Big up, Bobby. Big up, Myra.
Big up
And
to you,
pick up
Tobago.
Tobago.
Big up, big up.
Yeah, in
Uh,
terms of Nkunku situation, I agree with all of you. Nkunku, there's no way he wants to leave Chelsea this moment because we're going to have a lot of games in December time, so we'll need him. And also, we all know Jackson got an issue with yellow cards. So if Jackson, for example, he plays against Leicester City, he might get a yellow card, and Nkunku scoring a hat trick. That means it will be hard for Jackson to 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 replace Nkunku. So we need competition. At the moment, the coach likes Jackson, but again, Nkunku will have his opportunity and don't care about the rumors and everything. We just need to support all the players and they'll get their game time, guys.
uh, yeah, definitely. And Rodrick just raised a very vital point. Said people will be needed when AFCON starts. Definitely. Definitely. So when AFCON starts, at least we know that you have somebody that just steps in. Someone that just steps in. So that's a valid point. Valid point, Rodrick. Without wasting time, let us because eventually I'll be putting every one of us on the hot seat. That's the plan. Eventually, we are going to give our first level. We are still coming there. We are still coming there. So let us let's see what let's see how it goes. But somebody saying something here. That is what this is. Okay, this was the this is how the rumor started. That Nkunku is reevaluating his future at Chelsea due to increasing frustration over limited playing time. Chelsea will consider offers for him only if they can fully recover his their transfer fee. And without wasting time on this, we have seen I want us to talk about everything together. So we have seen credible those I call credible journalists like Ben Jacobs. I've seen Ben Jacobs come to say that this is not true. Ben Jacobs thinks this is not true. Ben Jacobs says that Nkunku would Nkunku you would expect to start in the festive period or the second half of the season. I'm not aware he's asked to leave or is being put in the market. So this is a very interesting part of it. Ben Jacobs, as I said, is one of the journalists I respect. He's saying that there's no truth about those links. He doesn't want to go, he wants to stay, and Chelsea are not thinking about selling him either. Let me hear from Bobby Smokey. What do you think about him? What do you have to say about this development?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised. I've heard Ben Jacobs, Fabrizio Romano has said a similar thing. Was one mischievous story put out from L'Equipe, the French newspaper, or is it a French journalistic site? Probably encouraged by the agent to try and tell Chelsea, hey, look, we're still here. You can play him in some more high profile games. Nothing to do with Nkunku himself, nothing to do with Chelsea. And they tend to do this because they know that everybody hates international break and they're looking for stories to talk about. And people like to throw out a story about a Chelsea player because they know the fan base will give it legs. Um, Nobody else is even listening to that stuff. It's a nonsense. It really is. There was somebody was alluding to not knowing what to expect from us this season, and that's very true. We don't know our team. The reason being, last season we didn't have a team. We can't compare anything that happened last season to this season because we didn't have a team. Everybody was injured. We carried on average 14 injuries a game. I remember one particular game we had 18 injuries. We were playing kids from the academy. We didn't have a team. A lot of these boys, um, Fofana, Ethan Badiashile, Nkunku himself, Reece James, Ben Chilwell, none of them were available. Even the goalkeeper, Robert Sanchez, at one point was out. So um, it's all a new discovery for us. We don't know how far we can actually go. All we do know is that we're a team in progress. And what I assure you, if this team wins its first trophy, my goodness, you're going to see something quite remarkable, especially when they start to click, because we are assembling a very formidable team. Everybody else knows it, but Chelsea fans.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. I really appreciate that. That's a very good view, and it's just the present situation. I don't think this guy wants to go. Just as you said, Fabrizio, which for me is one of the most trusted football journalists, also said that the moment Chelsea are not entertaining any talks with any club for Christopher Nkunku. Chelsea trust him. I believe Chelsea trust him, and he also wants to be in Chelsea. Man, let me hear from you. Let me hear from you.
Yeah, just going back to Bobby's points, I think there's rumors like I don't know why people just start these rumors, you know, and as well like Debucho said earlier on in one of the live streams in his channel, he said like we always connected to like we always linked to every player. So yeah, like when our name is around the whole Twitter, it's all hate. So I just don't understand why all this shenanigans is happening. But I like I said at first, Nkunku is not unsettled. He's here to stay, and he wants to play for Chelsea, and yeah, he wants to succeed. And I think like what we're building right now, it's going to be something great in the near future. So I'm glad that he's part of the project, and yeah, no, I just can't wait for him to start games.
Okay. Thank you very much, man. Thank you very much, man. So, Bell, I want to put you on the spot. I want to put you on the spot. So you are Winstanley, and we are Winstanley, and Nkuku knocks on your door. Nkuku knocks on your door, and he says, "I want to go." What will you do?
Says that he wants to leave Chelsea Football Club.
Yes.
Yeah, if we have the right offer, we can sell him. Uh, like Bobby used to say, no player is bigger than Chelsea Football Club. So if the player is unhappy, unfortunately, everyone got his price tag, so they have to pay the asking price, and then he leaves, and we replace him with another player. As simple as that. As much as I love Nkunku, one of my boys from Leipzig, but again, at the end of the day, we can't have them all. All the players can't be happy at the same time. They need to rotate. They need to understand you are Chelsea, so we need to rotate in everything. So if he's unhappy, then cool. Let's sell him and get another player. Why not?
Right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. But fortunately for us, we have no reports of him, credible reports. We have no credible reports of him being unhappy. We have no reports of him being unhappy. Um, okay. When I think that Nkuku won't stay because Amorim would need him more at Manchester United. I don't think so. I don't think Chelsea will let him go to Manchester United. I don't think so. Actually, I don't think so. Big up to you, Gavan. Big up to you, Gavan. Big up to you. Big up to you. Thank you very much for joining the show. Okay, as I was saying, I really think that Okuku will stay. And sincerely, I really think that even at some point, it won't be Okuku or Jackson, to be Okuku and Jackson. Very soon. I think so. That there are matches that will have both of them play together. It's that's something that this coach brings. It brings all sort of formations, brings us all sort of what is it called now? Settings on the field, OOPs and all sorts, the way of and the way we attack and out of position, what is it called now? Method and stuff like that. So we have a lot. We have a lot, and the good thing is that he has the squad. Just as Bobby said that last season we didn't have a squad. We didn't have a squad. I could remember last season, even Bettinelli, the third choice goalkeeper who was not playing, was injured at some point. Like, it's funny. If he's not playing and he's injured, it was as if we were under a curse or something. But thank God it's over. At least I think the only injury issue we have now after the international break, okay, the international break is still on, but of course, apart from those guys in South America, the only one we have is Slavia, and Slavia is not something that we can rule out. I've had reports from Daily Mail how that Chelsea is hopeful that will be fit for Leicester. So it's like this season. It's been lovely for us so far when it comes to injuries. So long may it continue. Long may it continue because the coach is only as good as the players he has available. If he has them on the sick bed, there's no way he can make use of them. Okay. Roddick is raising the point that I think we should also talk about. He says that he doesn't think that Nkunku should play as a striker. Nkunku shouldn't play as a striker. And it's dicey. I will analyze it and I will hear from every one of us actually. It's dicey because his best position is behind the striker in that number 10 position or something that they call 9.5, something like that, 9.5. So that's his best position. And as it stands, Palmer, we use Palmer in that same position, so around that position. And that is where the coach wants to use him. He can move him in between that position, like centimeters away here and there, but that is where he wants to play. We cannot sacrifice Palmer. He is our go-to person. And because I've been thinking about all of this in my head, I think for me, the only solution to that is getting Madueke or probably Madueke out of the team and taking Palmer to the left-hand side, right-hand side, I beg your pardon, taking Palmer to the right-hand side and let Nkunku play in that number 10 position. And that we can have Jackson, Palmer, and what is it called, and Nkunku together, playing together. So I don't know, for you, Bobby, will you bring in Nkunku and sacrifice, or better still, if you are bringing in Nkunku, who are you going to sacrifice? Should everybody be on top form and Nkunku too is firing on all cylinders, and you really want to have him in your team? Who are you going to sacrifice? Bobby, are you there?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm always someone that looks at the big picture. Enzo Maresca signed a 5-year contract, at least. This is his first season. These are all relatively new players to each other because most of them were out injured last season. He's introducing his method. Rome wasn't built in a day. I've always maintained on every single platform I've been on that I don't expect Chelsea, these players, to be fully understanding of his main method until about the middle to the end of December. We've done well. We're well ahead of schedule, but it all takes time. Now, I mentioned that if this team wins the trophy, they are going to be very formidable. Why? Because there's so much talent there, young talent, hungry talent. And these boys can play in various different ways. He hasn't even started to exercise all the different permutations he can use these players and do. What he's focusing on is getting them to have understand his basic principle, to be rehearsed in his basic principle before he starts doing things like putting on Nkunku, shifting Madueke, and playing Nkunku and Jackson, playing Palmer and Felix. All this will come at various times later on in the development. What he's doing is phase one, get the team coherent with his standard system of play, what he expects from them, if it's playing out of the back, and so on, and when to play it long, and so on. Phase two, just like Ben Jacobs said, in the second part of the season, you will then start seeing the likes of Nkunku playing more in the Premier League. Why is that? Because he's going to be doing different things to deal with different challenges. We can't look at this thing in isolation. We can't be blinkered on or just look at it from a minded point of view, because Maresca is such a man of detail that he is definitely not looking at it like that. He's working on the short term, which will lead to the long term, which will lead to the medium term, and which will lead to the long term. This team is going to be equipped to deal with numerous different types of situations, but they have to be experts at playing these different ways. And it starts with one way, then you introduce the other way, and then the other way until it just becomes second nature. If they're playing a team that's giving them specific problems, he can call up on the bench, put certain players on there, and instinctively they know what to do. That's what it means to build a team. That's what it means to work on a process, on a plan, on a development project. And that's where we are.
Hmm. Yeah, then you have a very good point there. You have a very good point. You have a very good point there. Um, that's true. But yeah, I really think that as you said, Maresca is trying to make sure that these things are in faces, And okay, let me hear from Ma first, because God thinks we should sacrifice the midfielder, which I think for me eventually is something we should also consider. Because okay, we're talking about Nkunku today, but Enzo Fernandez is also there. Enzo Fernandez can also play in that 10th position, yes, but you can argue that his best position is 6. So, man, let me hear from you. If you are bringing in Nkunku, will you sacrifice somebody? Of course, you have to sacrifice somebody. And who are you going to sacrifice?
Yeah, like what Bobby said, it's just based to the system. Because like if um if I have to put a player right, I need to put him in a position where in a role where it's gonna suit him very well. I don't wanna put a player where I feel like each game is not gonna do better because eventually he's not comfortable in that role. So it all boils down to the system, like how the system is objected towards his game or his current abilities. And that's where Nkunku comes in or sacrificing a midfielder comes in, bro. So at the end of the day, like even if you slot in a midfielder, the whole point is to just get the game, the round game, the end game in the middle, bro. And if you don't get that, if you don't execute that, then there's one or two bits you're actually doing. So it's like a tactical thing, bro. Sometimes it's not like just a basic thing of putting a best player in one position is that balling. Sometimes the tactical thing, just like Bobby said right now with Maresca, what he's actually doing is an incredible job because sometimes you could see when he's switching up things, puts in Palm on the left. Sometimes, yes, I don't like that, but you can see there's some tactical decision he's trying to do. He's trying to create something, and it's all about evolving and creating new tactics. And if Nkunku, is in that picture where now we just need to slot him randomly just because we need to fit him in a system, well, it's not gonna work out. But in terms of if perhaps if I see that it's going to work out, then fair enough. I'm going to sacrifice a midfielder just to put in Nkunku. But as well as like, if I put Nkunku there, will it be more effective onto the team and into the game end for the end game? Is he gonna be effective? He's a good player, but you have to be more aware of like where we're gonna play him and is he gonna be more effective in that role. So I think perhaps, especially with this system, like I feel like this system is actually a bit harder for him because the system is more dealt with like going into the wide areas and all that stuff. And Nkunku likes drifting, but like he's not that kind of a guy. He likes to be in the middle. So the most of the time he wants to, do all the runs in the middle. But, frankly, for that, Maresca is going to ship into a just a little bit of a tweak, maybe a tweak formation for him so that he can be slotted into that position. But at the end of the day, if you could say like we need to sacrifice a midfielder, it's like it's the same thing what they said about Cole Palmer. We need to sacrifice a midfielder so that Cole Palmer needs to stop dropping deep. You see, so it's kind of biased when we say that, like because at the end of the day, we don't know what Maresca is planning. You could say Maresca wants to tweak this position for Palmer, and somehow it doesn't work out. Then it happens for Nkunku, it works out. So it's just one or two decisions that comes from the gaffer. But at the end of the day, if I see if it works out, I would do a sacrificial. But I just don't. It's just at the end of the day, it's just a team's game. It's just all parts. If the player is part of the, if he works out in the system where the manager wants him to be, especially the type of role the manager wants, then it'll work out. And if not, then then he has to find a solution for him. And I like what he did about Mudryk. The perfect example, Mudryk, because with Mudryk we never knew what type of role he was, playing. After when Maresca started tweaking some little bit positions for him, there you go. Now he's starting to play football, and it's just one of those two things that Maresca, is very good at. It's just technical decisions, and yeah, we just need to be a little bit patient when it comes to players and what the manager wants in the system.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That's a very good point. Okay, I just posted something now. So, Bill, I'm coming to you now. I just posted something now. He said Christopher Nkunku isn't being prioritized at Chelsea because of who is coming in to play in that position instead of William. This is a player who has broken Neymar's record in Brazil and has so much quality despite only being 17. This one, Petit, Emmanuel Petit. I don't agree with this comment. I think the coach will be myopic to say that because Esteban William is coming next season, he's not going to use Christopher Nkunku this season. That's nonsense to say. I don't know if I'm not sounding insulting, but that's nonsense to say. But Tobeo, let me hear from you. So the same question. You are bringing in Nkunku. You must bring in Nkunku. Who are you sacrificing?
Man, it's a difficult question because at the same time you are talking about moving Cole Palmer on the right hand side, but again we have Pedro Neto, who's a fantastic player. So, like Enzo Maresca said, every player should fight for his position. If they are not performing enough, they won't start. So it's a difficult question. But also, I would like to see a variety of that. Like, for example, having Cole Palmer and Kunku as number 10s, maybe having Noni Madueke as a right wing, or even Petro Neto. On the other side, we have Sancho, then we have Moses Caicedo sort of a DM position, but at the same time, we have Marco Corella can help him in terms of defending. So it's so difficult, bro. That question is for Enzo Maresca to answer, unfortunately.
You're running away from my question, no problem. You said the question is for Enzo Maresca to answer. All right. We are coming back to. I said I was going to. Okay. Somebody said something, and I'm really trying to share it now. Um, and it's something that I feel like some people are not really seeing. Though, as we said, as I've said on the show, it, it's not true that he wants to go. It's not who wants to go, and the noise is coming from the media. The noise is because of the fact that there are no matches in the there are no matches going on in the Premier League and all of those stuffs. So this is this on that account, one of the accounts that I like. Okay, he said that last year at this time, so I think it's the mood. So last year at this time, we were seeing rumors about Kukurela leaving us in January, and then he ended up being an integral member of our squad. I hope the same happens for Nkunku. If Nkunku has failed at Chelsea with several opportunities, I won't be advocating for him so much. But considering how he's not even getting minutes, I feel it to be a disaster if he's sold, especially to an EPL rival. I think the sporting directors not it will not be wise for you to even sell Nkunku to a rival, a direct rival. You don't do that. You don't do that. You don't, of course, I think Chelsea have track records of selling players to direct rivals when the players have served Chelsea over the years, and is ready to go and he wants to go to the rival, the rival, they tend to let them go. But I don't think Nkunku has done anything to be in that category for Chelsea. He has not done anything for Chelsea to say that okay, he has served us, so we can let him go wherever he wants to go. We won't be selling him to direct rival with our blessings as things stand. I think that I'm speaking the mind of everybody. So let me hear from because of time. Let me hear from Bobby. Yes, let me hear from Bobby. If you are one of the SDs, will you sell to a direct rival, Nkunku? If at all he now wants to go, will you sell to a direct rival?
No, no. If that issue arose, he doesn't have any leverage. He has
Fine.
a ton of years of contract. He's on high wages, so it can't be about wages. He's one of our highest earners. It's just such an unlikely scenario. And these owners, these sporting directors have already proved that no matter who you are, if you don't toe the line, they will freeze you out while they look for an alternative. So it's not a beneficial situation for him. I'd like to address this Esteval Williams thing just briefly, if I may.
Please do, please.
I keep sounding out a slight note of caution with Esteval Williams. We keep, I remember when we were going for Modric, people were talking about, oh, this great talent, he's doing this, he's doing that. He played in the Champions League, he scored a goal. They really bigged him up. And ultimately, what we have in Mikhailo Modric is a very, very talented player, but his potential and he's developing. And he didn't, I mean, at least he's played in Europe. He didn't play in the Premier League. So everything is new and he's progressing well. My note of caution with Esteval Williams is every time I see videos of him playing, he's not under the kind of pressure from defenders that Premier League defenders will put him under. They will clatter into him, double up on him. He'll have very little space. Now, I'm not saying that the kid isn't hyper talented. I believe he is. And if he comes to Chelsea and hits the ground running in the first season, wow, we've got something of the ilk of Lionel Messi. But I just feel that he's going to come, he's going to need to settle. He might even, if he doesn't settle well, go on loan. But I understand our contract with him is that he stays with the first team. But he will have to develop, just like he might have to develop like Modric did. That's where I'm putting him. I don't. I want to be pleasantly surprised, but I don't want him to be
Hello, are you there? Hello, are you there?
Seems like we lost Bobby. I don't know why.
Oh,
Bobby,
okay. I think we lost him. Okay.
hear me. Can you hear
Okay.
me?
Yeah, can hear you now.
100%.
Can you?
Yeah, 100% now.
Okay, so where did I stop? I was saying that he's here. He's coming to be observed first of all.
Yeah, yeah.
Certainly in the pre-season and certainly at the World Club Cup, where I think he'll be with us, and then we will know if he's a player that needs to be gently eased into the team or a player that we can just drop into the team. I'm a realist. I think he will need time. You know, it's a big leap to come from playing in Brazil to playing in the Premier League without even playing in Europe. Not to mention when you're what, 17, 18 years old? It's a lot of ask. We're putting a lot of hype around a player that we know nothing about, really, apart from a few videos. Now, I trust the scouting system. They're usually excellent. You know, people can say, well, they brought in Cole Palmer and that, but you know, Cole Palmer had been playing English football for a while and was brought up with that. It's all new to Esteval Williams, so we need to be a little bit cautious when we have expectations of this somewhat unknown.
All right. Thank you very much. Okay. Let me hear from you, Tobeo. Tobeo. What do you think about Estava Williams? Can he actually make it? Because for me, I think he's in the bracket of Boston. Like he has the talent. He has the talent. I'm not saying that he has the performances yet, at least not in Europe, to back up the talent. But I feel he's a talented kid, and only him can stop him. Okay, injuries, and I think he's from a good family because we don't see that often from Brazilians. You see them partying all sorts. He's not somebody like that. He has broken a lot of records. He has started making his own records in the Brasileria. I think that's what they call the Brazilian league. He has started making records of his own, started creating records of his own. So, what do you think about Estabo William? Do you think that this guy can make it in Italy? Can he make a name for himself in Chelsea Football Club? Tobeo.
yeah, I've watched the kid, I think, twice as much as we want to watch all the game, but it's so hard due to the fact that their games are playing midnight, so it's so hard. But from watching clips or videos, you call them, I think it's a fantastic talent. But just like Bobby said, the Premier League and the Brazilian League are two different things. So as much as you want him to hit the ground running, we need to be careful. We need to stop all the hype and everything. What if he comes in and then immediately doesn't do well? You know our fan base. The issue is that when he come and doesn't perform, our fan base will calling him names and everything. So we need to stop that. Hopefully, for peace sake, I always say this: he the ground running, but again, he's still a kid. Let him develop at Chelsea. Let him do well, and the rest is history.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Tobeo. Thank you very much,
And
Tobeo.
then
Um,
also, guys, thank you for having me, but I have to go right now. Cheers, guys.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for joining us, Tobeo. It was nice having you. Big up to everyone in the comment section. Big up Roderick. Big up Nigel Clark. Big up Josh CFC. Big up Victor. Big up Victor. Big up Vic, Timituna. 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 Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Big up to every one of you. So, Nigel Clark says that obvious agent briefing, not gonna blame him for being unsettled, bro. He's being treated like he's Bashai. Maya, have we really maltreated this guy? Have we maltreated this guy? Maya, let me hear from
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I just currently we heard both points from Bobby and Debo. I mean, yeah. I did watch one game, one 90-minute game from Esteval, and what I've picked up from him is that there are just some few key areas he still needs to work on, like his decision making. Because what I've noticed is like he likes to lose the ball very much. So but also his movement, but I think he's kind of working on that side. So I mean, like they say, like Premier League is very, it's very tough. So I think when he comes in, it's going to be very raw. He's gonna be like, who's this guy? Like the same. It's gonna be in the same situation as Savio from Man City. So he's gonna start off like that. He won't start off as like banging in goals and all those contributions and all that. Now it's gonna take him time, but yeah, he's a fantastic player. I mean, this is one player we feel like we need to put a lot of money, invest in a lot more. We can get a lot from him. Him and Palmer, imagine just them combining into the front. So I think this is an exciting signing we have ever had. We just we have to wait for him to come in the December period. But like Bobby said, like Deboho said, at that particular time, who knows? Maybe at that time, will it be sharp enough? Will it be not raw enough to handle the league? But it's gonna take him a while. And yeah, I like one thing about Brazilians, they get it right away. So once they get the picture, then they can easily adapt. So he's a fantastic player. I don't see him writing off anybody in the team. I just feel like he's an addition to our team, and he's gonna bring a lot more. So yeah.
you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. Thank you very much. Okay. George CFC says that it's jarring how people just act like we can just stick a 12th player on. Someone has to drop for him to get in. He doesn't start over anyone at the moment. Okay.
Can I make
That
another point about this, which we need to remember?
okay,
Hendrik has
sir.
gone to Real Madrid. He's not
Hmm.
starting. Sometimes
Yeah.
he's not even on the bench.
Mm.
So he's acclimatizing, bedding in, and La Liga is not as tough as the Premier League. I just think this kid is going to take some time, and we need to prepare ourselves for that rather than have these expectations. It doesn't take away from his talent, but it's just real. He's just a human being. He has to adjust. And once he adjusts, then we'll start to see his talent. It might take him a season, it might take him 2 seasons, but we've got to have that patience.
Hmm. That's a very good point. But personally, I think that yes, he will definitely need time to get used to the intensity of the Premier League. There's no doubt about that. He will need time to bed in. But I don't want to agree that it's the same thing is happening with what is it called? This boy at Real Madrid. I don't think it's
Hendrik,
Hendrik. Hendrik. I don't think it's the same. I don't think they're in the same category. No, I don't think so. I think there are diversities to these things. Now, Hendrik for me has I don't know, it might not have been obvious yet, but I think it's such that we have character issues. And I think this boy he has a good head up his shoulders. That's what I think of Esteban. He has a good head up his shoulders. I think he's from a good family. I think that he I listened to one of his of his releases, and where he was talking about the fact that he started taking English classes. He started um, He has a nutritionist already, someone that helps him to do everything. And we've not had any bad thing about him since he joined Chelsea officially. We've not had anything to any negative thing about him as it were. So I think for him, he has a good head up his shoulders, and it will not be a crime. I really expect him to come in and start burning all cylinders. That's what I expect of him. I expect him to come in. Of course, he might not start, but at least to put pressure on those that are there already. That's what I think. That's what I expect of Estavo William. That's what I expect of Estavo William. I don't know. Might be having divergent views on this, but that's what I think. I think this boy is a very talented individual, and if you are talented, you adjust it. Yes, if you look at his progression from 6 months ago, you see that there are a lot of changes. If you have been following him from 6 months ago, there was a time he had issues with decision making, as you said, Maya. But I think recently there has been a lot of changes. If you have noticed, he knows when to shoot, he knows when to take a pass, he knows give out a pass rather, he knows when to beat his man. These are things that I'm seeing in his game, and that's maturity. That's maturity. And for me, if Noni continues the way he's playing, and there are no end products to show, I mean more end products, this guy might just yes, a big might, but might just put Noni on the bench. Even the defensive side of this boy works his ass off, even defensively. Yes, we still have a long time to go, but I think he's a fast learner. So because he's a fast learner, I think he can crash into that thing. That is what I think. I think he can crash into that thing. So, okay. Timitona said that he's better than Noni, though. Okay, present, I won't say he's better than Noni. I won't say he's better than Noni. Or let me hear from Bobby. This a very bold view to say that it's better than Noni. Presently, I don't think it's better than Noni. Yes, if you talk of the ceiling, he has higher ceilings than Noni Madueke, but presently he's not better than Noni. So let me hear from you, sir. Bobby Smoke.
Yeah, I have to agree. Potentially, because we still haven't seen him, potentially he has a higher ceiling than Noni. But presently, we can't say he's better than Noni because we haven't seen him to show us that. You know, as I say, I always sound out a note of caution. I'm glad you've, mentioned his personal discipline, coming from a good home. All these things help. But, be careful with these youngsters. I remember Robinho. I don't know if any of you are old enough to remember him.
I know Robinho.
He was at
At Manchester City.
Real Madrid, and then he came to Man City. He wasn't sure which Manchester he was actually at, whether City or United. He just signed for someone called Manchester, but he just didn't make it. He was a terrible flop, and there was an almighty level of hype around him. The fact that he didn't make it at Real Madrid should have been enough of a red flag for anybody else. So I'm not saying that about Esteval Williams. I'm just saying I just hope that we dial it down and just give this guy time, because I'm concerned that some Chelsea fans are expecting him to come and start ripping up trees. And to me, if it happens, fantastic, but it's highly unlikely. He's got to be given time to adjust.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, someone is putting you on the spot here. It says that do I feel like the club has not treated Nkunku fairly? Okay, personally, I think the club has been fair with Nkunku, and it's just now when you say the club, and I'm sure you're talking about how much game time he has gotten. So that means you're talking about the coach, because the coach is the representative of the club when it comes to picking who starts and who doesn't start. We must understand that this is a new team, and because it's a new team, there are things that must be done, and there has to be the bedrock. Now, the coach said something some weeks ago. I can't remember which match. Okay, I think the journalist asked him why that there are always changes after the first half. That when the team comes on after the second half and the first half break, that there are one or two changes and they cause changes in match in the result and stuff like that. They affect the result of the match. And the coach said that it's something that he really wants to do 5 minutes after the match. I think a particular team set up and we were stunned by the setup. And the coach needed till after the first half to make some changes. He said it's something that he wants to do 5 minutes after the match, but it's something he could not do because of the fact that the team is just bedding in. They don't understand the changes yet. It's something that he needs more time to explain. If it was a team of 2 years or 3 years, it's easier. So for a player that had no last season, he has been injured, and we don't have the luxury. We don't have the luxury for him to start catching up. We don't have that luxury. And at the same time, thank God we have lesser matches. We have matches against lesser opponents. There he can start building up fitness, and also the type of formation we play, the type of setup we play. It's such that Jackson is thriving, and he's thriving. When I'm talking about thrive, I'm not talking about the goals now. I'm talking about his hold up play. I'm talking about his movement, allowing others to come into play. That is something Nkunku will not give us now. That's something that Nkunku will not give us now. So it's important to understand that the coach is trying to make this guy come in little by little. It's not only Nkunku, we have Felix. Felix is also on the fringe. And it's funny that we have other players that could have a shout to that they are supposed to be in the team. They're supposed to be in the team. So okay, Josh says that I should be careful. No, I'm talking about the Conference League. I'm not talking about the Premier League. I'm talking about the Conference League. The Conference League is, we have teams that are of less quality in the Conference League, and we've seen him play more in the Conference League than in the Premiership. So okay, I really want to take all of our comments. What it says that I have respect for Bobby because he speaks his mind and doesn't sugarcoat. I have a lot of respect for him. To big up to you, Roderick, for that. Okay, George says that it's very interesting. It's very frustrating. See Maresca bringing Reese at the first minute with no Nkunku. Like, what's the point in bringing in 5 minutes? Let me allow me have a reaction. May I please react to this comment from Josh?
Yeah, also don't also get it, bro. Like, he also brought in Nkunku like 5 minutes, 10 minutes before the game finishes. Like, what is he gonna do? And I said this, think after the Arsenal game, I was in one of the Twitter spaces, and I was like, there's some things Maresca needs to work on, especially his substitution, his tactical decision when it comes to substitutions. Like, he needs to make them very early. Like, you can't bring an attacking player or a defender. I understand, because maybe a defender you want to not concede more goals, like in the end. But as for an attacker, bro, like you wouldn't want to put an attacker in the 80th or 90th minute, because what is he gonna offer into the game? The game is already dead, or the game is already done. So you would want to put the player in the 60th, 70th minute, where you can just get into the game quickly. So I think he's trying to sort that one or two beats out. We saw that it didn't work, and I think he was a little bit too naive or too nice to the big teams, or maybe he just kept it out of like, I just want to have this respectable match. And I understand that because it's his first season. He wants to test the waters, wants to see what's happening. But at the same time, like sometimes, especially with the Arsenal game, like I felt like, if we could have put in like Felix or Nkunku earlier on, maybe we could have nicked the game. Something, could have done something, could have gotten away with 3 points. So it just boils down again back to Maresca's decisions again. I'm not saying is he learning from that. Maybe he is. We'll see what happens in the Leicester game. But I think that's also one thing I want him to work on, bro. Like, hey, the subs, bro. Like the tactical, the substitutions. It hasn't been spot on. This so far it hasn't been spot on.
Hmm. Okay. Let me take um these comments. Thank you very much for that, man. Maresca is way too rigid and inflexible in his tactics. He should at least try to find a way to incorporate Palmer, Nkunku, and Jackson in the team, if not for 20 minutes. All right. As it stands, Bobby, are you going to incorporate these guys together as it stands presently? Incorporate Jackson, Palmer, Nkunku. And of course, I said the other time that you are bringing these guys, that definitely are dropping somebody. So if will you incorporate this guy? Will you take that risk? And who are you going to drop, Bobby? I think we've asked something very
Well,
close to this before this event.
well, these days we have 5 substitutions. So the players that start a game doesn't necessarily mean you're going to finish the game. And there will be rotation taking place even on live match day. Um, Look, Maresca is also learning his team as they are learning his ways and his tactics. It's quite normal for him to occasionally get some things wrong. Maybe he did get it wrong about the substitution time for Nkunku against Arsenal. And indeed, leaving Cole Palmer on for so long and not bringing João Felix off the bench. Look, these are fine margins. It was a very, very tactical game against Arsenal. He had to be very, very much aware of his defensive game and various other things. So that would have informed his decision. And maybe not knowing the players well enough would have reduced his temptation to risk. Um, so it is what it is. I think he will learn. And I think going forward, there will be a better application of these players. But whether we're going to use all of them within the team, I think yes, it's very much needed. Sometimes they will all play together, although rarely so. Sometimes some will come off the bench. They'll be rotated in a starting position for depending on each competition.
All right, thank you very much. Ma, can we hear your preferred way to field them? So please, everyone in the comment section, please let us see your first 11. Let's just give us your first 11. So the panelists are going to do this too. So you are going to field you are the coach now. You are the coach now, and having seen your players, at least from what you have seen them play on match days. So I want to hear our first 11 because the truth is we have a lot of calls and we can just start taking these calls one after the other. We have Adarabio, Yotosin, and Fofana. We have, of course, Kobe, I think Kobe and Badiashile is a direct shot. We have what is his name now? James and Gusto. We have James and Gusto. We have the midfield conundrum. We have, okay, before going to the midfield, we have Cucurella, we have Chilwell, we have Veiga. The midfield conundrum of we have Caicedo, we have Chukwuemeka, we have Asadei, we have a lot of them. So I will not bore you with Lavia, Enzo, and all sorts. So please, the panelists, let us hear your preferred 11 from what you have seen so far. Preferred 11. So please, in the comment section, please let us hear your first 11 too. So let's start with the first 11.
Yeah, number one, of course, I don't want him there. Yo, I know everyone doesn't want him there, and yeah, it's not an agenda, guys. This is the facts. He's going to be there. So I think Sanchez, But I always said I wanted Jorgensen to start because I just feel like Jorgensen can just pick up from there. He can just pick up, just start Jorgensen, and he will start picking up games and all that stuff. But somehow Maresca trusts Sanchez, so I don't know what he says from Sanchez, but the first pick obviously would be Sanchez. Um, on the left side, we'll have to put in Cucurella because it's been outstanding for us. I think he's been on form. Um, I think we're gonna keep the center backs. I think now we can talk about Cole's performance recently because it hasn't been that great. So maybe we could swap those two for Torsen. So it'll be Sanchez, Cucurella, Torsen, or Cole, Fofana, then Reece James. Okay, then in the middle will be Caicedo or Lavia. But if Lavia is not available, it will be Caicedo by himself by the DM area. Then going to the attacking area, I would slot in two tens, just like I'll put in Nkunku and Palmer. But if that's not going to happen, where we could have a double pivot, which is we'll have Caicedo and Enzo. Then we just have Palmer drifting as a 10. Then on the left side, we'll have Sancho. I think Sancho will be decent enough for because we need someone that's actually good at scaling and all that stuff, especially 1v1s. Then on the right side, we have Neto. Um, then, yeah, on the front, we have Jackson. But I think, in terms of like the starting 11, I think it's pretty much solid at the front. There's just one or two problems at the back, but yeah, I think that's where our starting level will be. So yeah, that's my starting level.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. Bobby Smokey, let me hear from you. What's your starting 11? Bobby, are you there?
Hey, we lost
Sorry,
Bobby.
I was struggling to unmute. I might have to go after this because I've got incoming calls that I'm pushing away.
Okay.
My starting 11. Well, I'll go with what I think Moresca will do. I think is the best way because we can have various permutations and um, um, it may not actually be that accurate. So I know he'll go with Sanchez in goal. Centre back two will be Colwell and Fofana if both are fit. Right back, I think this time he'll have Reece James. Um, um, left back, Cucurella. The midfield, this is interesting. I don't know what situation Lavia is in, but if Lavia's fit, he starts. If not, that's a conundrum. We can't play both Enzo and Caicedo coming back from international break as late as Thursday and Friday. So it'll be one or the other, and that's always the Achilles heel. When these guys come back jaded from travel, they're not really quite on it, especially from an early morning kickoff. But for want of anything else, I think he'll go Caicedo. Oh God, I so hate this player. I don't even want to say his name. I'm afraid he might use him, but no, I would rather he goes Caicedo and Vega um, in that midfield pivot, or Caicedo and Casaday, although I think he might reserve Casaday for the away game in Germany in the Conference League during the week. Um, this is where it gets interesting. I think because of the absence of of Enzo to start, he might do this. He might play uh, um, Nkunku with Palmer on the right and Neto on the left, or he might just play Palmer, Neto on the right, Sanchez on the left, and Nkunku up top. I'm going to stick faith with what I want to happen. that he starts Nkunku. Just to start. Knowing him, he probably won't, but just to start, I want to see that. And that would be my starting 11.
Okay. Okay. I purposely put you guys on the spot because for me it's a difficult position, and that's primarily because of the fact that the guys from South America will not be back until they will have only one training session with the team, and it's an early kickoff. An early kickoff. The match was on Sunday; it would have been better. An early kickoff on Saturday. So it's a conundrum, as you said. It's something that I don't know. I don't fancy the coach. So for me, I'll be having Sanchez in goal, Cucurella, because of the fact that we need that fight, that bite in the midfield. So he has to be the one to to come to the midfield when we're in possession. So I'll go with the coaches Fofana and Kobe. Fofana and Kobe. Then my right back will definitely be James. James. Then in the midfield, I think Caicedo might be able to make it, but for Enzo, I'm not sure. So I'll go with Caicedo. Then, funny enough, I'll go with Casadei because I don't think Clavia will be fit. I don't think Clavia will be fit, so I'll go with Casadei. Then my 10 will be Nkunku. My 10 will be Nkunku, and I'll put Palmer on the right. Put Palmer on the right, then Neto on the left, then Jackson up front. That will be my starting 11. Not my starting 11. But we are hopeful. I think Chelsea will definitely win the match. I just want a clean sheet. That's what I want. I want a clean sheet. Big up to you, Neymar Fawole. Big up
That's
to
not bad.
everyone that.
Sorry, guys. I'll have to drop. I can come back, but I've been batting away this call and they're persistent. So I better see what's going on.
All right, all right, all right. Thank you very much. I hope you are able to meet us because we are rounding up now. Big up to everyone that has made this show a success. Big up to you, Bobby Smokey. Big up to you, Maya. Big up to you, Tobeo. Big up to the guys at the back end. To everyone at the back end, Tyron, thank you very much for making this show a success. And thank you for everyone that really wanted me to be on the show that have missed me. Big up to every one of you. Okay, lastly, let me just take this. He said we might see Felix and Palmer in the pocket on Sunday. Yes. Who says we can't see that? We might actually see Felix start too. That's something that, and that's the most lovely thing about this team. Anybody can start. Anybody can start, and it's such that the difference in quality is not so large. That is the lovely thing about this team. So it's a problem for our opponents because they keep guessing. What are we going to come up with? It's a good thing, and I think it's a good problem to have. Thank you for everyone that made this show a success. Maya, Nehemiah Paole, George CFC, Roderick. I really can't take everybody, but thank you for everyone that's Victor, Timituna, Josh, CFC. Okay, I've said that before. Thank you, everyone. Victor, I've called you before. Nigel Clerk, CFC Gavan, Owen Art. Big up to everybody. Big up to you guys. McInneil, big up to you. And everyone that's made this show a success. Really want to say thank you. Thank you for joining the show, Ray. Thank you for joining the show. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for joining on, being a part of the conversation. Thank you very much, guys. Okay, man, let me hear from you. Last words from you, please.
Yeah, like I said, thank you for having me again. Thank you, brother Ayoade. God bless you. Thank you, Bobby, for always being here. I love hearing your guys' insights. I also learn from you guys. I don't, I learn a lot from you guys. Thank you in the chat as well for also uh being there for us and just being connecting with us. And yeah, please guys, stay safe, stay blessed, take care of yourselves, and yeah, man, more life, guys. Yeah, up the Chels. Let's stay positive with our team. We're gonna get there to the promised land. Yeah, we'll get there where we're gonna start winning trophies, guys. I know for a fact. But yeah, guys, stay blessed and thank you for the wonderful time, guys. It was an amazing stream.
Thank you very much, man. So this is Chelsea Socials coming to you from the stable of Chelsea Sessions, and we have, as I said, we have a lot, we have a lot, we have a lot, we have a lot, especially in the coming days. Please, in the coming days, we have a lot to whet your appetite with. So please, don't don't forget to always share, like, and subscribe. And as Maya said, stay safe. We love you guys. It's the Blue family, and we are one. We are one, and our goal is to bring Chelsea to where we belong, and that's at the top. And I wish every one of us well. Thank you for joining the stream. Thank you very much. Love you guys, and thank you very much. Thank you very much.